If you've paid any attention to the media within the last couple of years, you would have heard about the story that's not only sweeping across the globe, but also stirring up some conflict for its controversial material. 50 Shades of Grey, the story of a steamy romance between a successful entrepreneur, Christian Grey, and a shy college senior, Anastasia Rose Steele. Most people heard about the story through the best-selling novel by British author E.L. James, but not many people know that it actually started as an online fan fiction for another popular teen romance novel, Twilight. And although it is based off of it, I can assure you that there are many differences and similarities between the Twilight saga and the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. 50 Shades of Grey started as an online fan fiction written by James on the website The Writer's Coffee Shop in 2010. It was published under the name Master of the Universe, telling the story of Twilight characters Edward Cullen and Bella Swan. After becoming a huge online sensation, James was approached by Vintage Books in 2011, looking to publish a hardcover version of her story. Obviously, due to copyright issues, they had to take out majority of the Twilight references from the novel. This included minor changes like changing the main characters' names from Bella and Edward to Christian and Anastasia. Luckily, there's no vampires and werewolves in the 50 Shades of Grey series, so they didn't have to do any major plot revisions in order to keep the story the same. After its release, the novel skyrocketed, selling over 60 million copies and replacing chart-topping authors like J.K. Rowling of the Harry Potter series and Suzanne Collins of the Hunger Games series. After its release, James continued the story for 2 more novels, publishing 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed, none of which made the overwhelming impact that the first novel did, but the fan base sure enjoyed them. Since it was such a global sensation, Universal Pictures swooped it up and offered James a movie deal, which debuted Valentine's Day 2015. They cast Dakota Johnson to play Anastasia Steele and Jamie Duran to play the infamous Christian Grey. Since the release of the movie back in February, fans have been giving mixed reviews about whether the movie could really fill those 50 Shades of Grey shoes. The writers did a little bit of character change when writing the movie. They gave Anastasia a little bit more humor and sass with her character, while humanizing the character of Christian Grey a little bit more to appeal to the audiences. Besides that, they also had to cut out a couple of the more erotic scenes from the novel in order to keep it at a theater-worthy rating. Since the release, it has been confirmed that there will be a 50 Shades of Grey 2 in your box offices in 2016. The reason for the delay is that original writer E.L. James wanted a larger hand in creating the script for this movie. Aside from it being a popular story, 50 Shades has also stirred up a lot of controversy for its use of erotic literature and glorification of BDSM and abusive relationships, which has led it to be censored or removed in some markets. Overall, I believe that 50 Shades of Grey is a story that will always be remembered for its astronomical sales, not only in novel but in box office, and for the controversial effect it had on society. From starting in an online fan fiction to becoming a best-selling novel and eventually being made into one of the most anticipated movies of 2015, I would say that producers have done a very good job with the transition between outlets and aim to make their very large audience happy with the content that they are providing.